Hi, Pam Patton, the Director of Eagle VA Services, and I wanted to create a little video for you to share with you some of the things that your VA can and should be doing for you. As an investor, the less I do, the more I make, right? That's what Ron teaches us. And these things kind of really apply whether you're a seasoned investor or new to investing. So let's dig in and find out what is going on. So I've broken things up into two categories, as you can see behind me, buying and selling. So let's start off with buying. The number one thing that you should be focusing, your VA should be focusing on is calling FSBO leads. So all the leads that you get from your Gold Club lead service or other sources you send to us, and our VA is going to start calling on those to try and generate PI sheets. We're going to call each of them up to 3 times to try and get somebody on the phone. You'd be amazed how often we have to close out leads because we cannot get anybody to pick up the phone. It's very shocking. I'm going to share some stats with you. It's about 50 to 60% of all the leads nationally that we have in our system we close out because we cannot get anybody on the phone. Of the leads that we're getting on the phone, about 50 to 60% of those we're generating PI sheets on, but the balance of them we are not. So what is the reason for that? That would be because the home is already sold, so we won't generate a PI sheet on that. If it's listed with a realtor, we won't generate a PI sheet. Or if they're telling us right off the bat, hey, I'm not interested in talking to you any further. So we're going to close out those leads as well. If it is listed with a realtor though, let's hang on to those leads and we'll try them again after about 3 to 6 months to see if the property is already sold or if it's for sale by owner at that point. Sometimes those do turn around and we can get a PI sheet on those. Of the ones that we're getting PI sheets on, you can expect about 15 to 20% of those to be yes leads, the balance of them to be no leads. So from there, you can kind of work your numbers backwards to see how many leads do you really need to send in to us to start calling on. I would recommend at least 10 to 20 leads per week on average that you're sending to us at a minimum so that we can have enough time to call on those and to try and generate some PI sheets for you. If you're a 25-hour client, definitely start sending us way more than that. And that brings me to my second point. We can also research for sale by owner properties using your criteria. The Gold Club will limit you to 2 counties for your criteria, search criteria, and it's going to just send you everything in those 2 counties. What we're going to do is take your criteria and isolate it down to what counties or zip codes even that you want to look at. You don't have restrictions, anything goes. So you can even be in multiple states if you'd like to. We will take into consideration your price amount threshold, how many bedrooms, bathrooms that you're looking for. So all of that data we're going to use and we're going to start researching and finding you leads that we can then call on. I will tell you that I do not have the same VA doing the research that I do making the phone calls because I would have everybody doing the research and nobody would make calls. Those phone calls are tedious, they're time consuming. You're dealing with a lot of rejection, and especially as a new investor, you want to send that our way because you don't want to get discouraged right off the bat. Our guys are pros, they do not care about the rejection. They're just doing a job and they want to get PI sheets for you as much as possible. The next thing you're going to want them to do is run ads, so Craigslist ads, anything that you have locally that you want us to post ads on, and that's the We Buy Houses ads. Ron has 3 templates that you should be posting every single template and do it multiple times throughout the week. You're going to take that template and put in your information. So just like in Jacksonville, if I'm posting a We Buy Houses ad, I'm going to localize it and say I'm looking for I buy houses in Mandarin or I buy houses at the beach. So do the same for your ads and send that information into your VA. Like I said, post it multiple times throughout the week so that it continues to refresh up at the top of the page. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is a good rule of thumb. The phone number that you're going to use in that ad's important. You're not going to send those calls to your VA and you don't want to be taking those calls yourself. Pat Live is an excellent source to send that. They have Ron scripts. They're going to capture a few different sources of information in it and they're going to spit out a report to you every time they get a phone call in. You then look at that information and then send it our way so that we can start making those phone calls and getting PI sheets on them. Now that you have your buying machine up and running and you're buying property, let's figure out how do we sell it. So on the selling side, the first thing that you're going to want to do is to create an info page and post it. So what is an info page? It is that beautiful picture of the property and that description of the property, what's your price point. So all that information needs to be fed to your VA as soon as possible so that they can begin creating that info page. So the landing page with the web form, you're going to want to have a website as well. So how do they get to the website? How do they get to that landing page? We have to run ads for that. So we're going to again post it on Craigslist, Facebook, Zillow, every place that we can. So have your VAs do that as well. The phone number in those ads are not going to go to Pat Live because that's going to get pretty expensive. You're going to get way more calls on those ads than you are on your other ads. So the IVR is another good resource to use. We recommend to do that on all of your ads, and it's kind of, if you're not familiar with what the IVR is, it's like a giant voicemail. It's a little more complicated than that, but you know, it's an ask a question, record the response, and then it spits you out information. So just like with Pat Live, you're going to get a report, but you're also going to get the recordings. The reason for that is because some of the answers are not transcribed properly. So your VA can also listen to the recordings and then enter that data into your CRM system. So they will take that data, put it into your CRM system, and it's very important to have that CRM system organized as much as possible. So how much do they have to put down? What side of town are they looking for? The reason for that is so that they can then pull reports for you based on that data. So if you're using landing pages and they come into your system from the landing page, the web form is going to automatically categorize them as to what price they have to put down, what side of town they're looking on, all that criteria is going to go in there. But if it's off of the IVR, somebody needs to be doing that. So pulling reports, the reason why you want to pull reports is, for example, if you have an open house coming up, then your VA can then say, here's a list of all the people that are interested in houses in the west side, and your open house is in the west side, and this is how much they said they had to put down. They can then send an email or text blast to those people to get them to drive over to your open house. So then you're quickly qualifying people and you know exactly what to do. Follow-up calls, I put that on there. I'm not expecting your VA to do follow-up calls. That's on you. That's on your plate because those are decision-making calls. Your VA can set appointments for you, and your VA can call the property back to get more details if you need more details, but definitely follow up. That's the number one thing. That's what we really ask for you to do. We ask that you police your VA minimally and make sure that you're providing us with enough leads, make sure that you're getting us information back on a timely basis. But other than that, that's not much to it. If you do all of these things and you do it consistently, all those wheels are in motion and it helps with your automation. So I believe in you, you can do this, but if you still have questions or you feel like things are not moving the way they should be moving, give me a call. I'm at 904-262-0491. My extension is 127. I'd love to speak with you, or send me an email, pam@globalpublishinginc.com. Thanks so much. All right, I have a quick update for you. We're now recommending that you drive your buyer leads and the ads to Pat Live. They have a script that is going to be able to collect all of that data. It's less than a minute, so it's going to be affordable. And they're going to be so much more effective because it's a live person on being able to capture how much someone has to put down and how much they can pay per month. So super exciting. I wanted to share that with you. They're going to be able to tie in your buying and selling into one account super easily, and just wanted to share that with you. Thanks.